What's going on, guys? It's Spectre coming fresh out of watching the Nintendo Direct at E3. I had many hopes regarding what they'd reveal about the upcoming Pokemon titles Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and some of them were actualized, but a surprising amount of new things were also featured in the showcase. Today I want to look at 10 new things we learned about the games through watching E3, some of which you might be very surprised about. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look. First off is the fact that if you buy Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee along with the new Pokeball Plus accessory, together they're supposed to cost around $100 or so, you'll actually get a free mythical Pokemon, Mew, to add to your party. This is absolutely crazy, and it seems we'll be able to use the Mew to help us complete the story, which is awesome. We're not quite sure what level it will be at when you get it, nor how early on you get it, but Nintendo seems to be suggesting that it'll join your party pretty early on and it will help you along from the start of the game. Psychic-type Pokemon are incredibly rare at the start of any Kanto game, and to have one as powerful and rare as this at the start is going to be very exciting. Also worthy of note is the fact that in the gameplay shown, the player had all 3 of the Kanto starters by the time they reached Viridian Forest, so they could possibly be available from the start as well. Next is something I personally find to be really exciting. There was an Oddish found in Viridian Forest during the gameplay. Now, I know you may be saying to yourself, "Sylph, who cares, it's just an Oddish." Well, my friend, let me tell you, in Pokemon Yellow, there were no Oddishes in Viridian Forest. That means that the wild Pokemon that are available have been switched around and won't be the exact same as the Gen 1 games, which allows for a whole new experiences and surprises to uncover. We'll be heading into each new route not knowing exactly what Pokemon are in them, which I'm sure will make it feel like a new and more exciting experience. The third new thing we found out was of course how the Pokemon centers look, but more important than that was that there didn't appear to be a PC anywhere in sight. Apparently, the storage system for Pokemon will be different in these games. It might be done through a self-contained inventory system, but the ability to send extra Pokemon back to Professor Oak like Ash does in the anime was confirmed in the gameplay that we were shown, with bonus rewards being given upon doing so. The maximum storage capacity is still unknown, but I'm definitely excited for a more convenient and/or on-the-go storage system that will make it easier to swap back and forth between your party and your inventory. Next up is something that I was personally really hoping that they'd reveal: the existence of Pokemon gyms in these new games. Up until now, we hadn't had official confirmation that gyms and gym battles would return, so it was amazing to finally see that happen. Not only did we get confirmation, but we also got to see the Pewter City gym on the inside, and boy did it ever look beautiful. Brock is of course back as the gym leader, and I really like his new design. The gym also has stands for an audience, which I thought was an amazing touch, and keep in mind that Brock's gym is probably the simplest of them all in terms of design, so I can't wait to see what they're able to do with the rest. At number 5, we have the fact that we found out we have a new rival in these games, and his name is Trace. Not much is known about him at the moment, but he seemed to be a very helpful and optimistic trainer, but not to the point of being derpy like some other rivals, thankfully. I always like having meaner rivals, but hey, this guy seems cool, and the presenters said that there are some more comedic moments with him where he gets really fearful of some things, so I'm excited to learn more about his character and how strong of a trainer he becomes, and how much of a challenge he poses. Another interesting thing that we learned is that the Fuchsia City Safari Zone is actually being replaced with the Pokemon Go Park, where you transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go to these new Switch games. I'm kind of disappointed about the Safari Zone no longer being present. However, the Go Park looks like a really cool place, and transferring from Pokemon Go is going to be exciting since most people have some rare and powerful Pokemon on their games. What's also really cool is that Masuda confirmed that the levels of your Pokemon in Pokemon Go will actually correspond to what they become in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which means getting some wickedly powerful Pokemon will be very possible. Along the same line as Pokemon Go is the fact that the local multiplayer and online multiplayer trading and battling systems will be organized around a new feature called lobbies. Instead of adding a friend via a long numerical friend code, you and your friend will receive an easy code that consists of 3 Pokemon that, once you input it, it will start up a room in which you can trade or battle, similar to how Pokemon Go has raid lobbies that people can join in before doing the raid. I think this feature has a lot of potential and will certainly make multiplayer activities less tedious. Another thing we learned is that experience points will be acquired through merely catching Pokemon. A lot of people were wondering how we were going to get enough experience to progress through the game, since the only actual battles we can have are against other trainers. But it seems there's a shared experience system among your party Pokemon for each Pokemon that you catch as well. Not only that, but the amount of experience you get will be based on the Pokemon's level and its size, which is indicated by the sort of aura that it has around it on the overworld sprite. The ninth new thing is the existence of stats in this game and how they operate. Lots of people were worried that since these games are known to be a little bit more casual than others, that we might not have detailed stats on Pokemon. But it turns out there are stats like every other game. One major difference, however, is that it seems the effort value, or Eevee system, is now based on things called candies. There appears to be one type of candy for each type of stat, and using them seems to give the stat an effort value point, which certainly does simplify the system, which honestly might be nice. And finally, the last new thing we learned is that overworld Pokemon actually appear to be more real-sized than past renditions. If you look at the Pokemon featured in Go Park, they all appear to be way closer to their real sizes than we've ever seen before. Remember that Onix that the trainer was riding on in the first trailer we got? Well, it turns out that it wasn't a designated ride Pokemon, but just the so-called following Pokemon feature, which means that any Pokemon you choose to follow you is likely to be full-sized, which is going to be incredibly awesome to see, and I can't wait to experiment with using them. Well, there we go guys, 10 new things we learned about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee from the Nintendo E3 event. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to show some love by leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments down below what you liked from the E3 event, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Pokemon content.